Welcome back to Barber News. Is barbering a scam? I don't understand how some barbers can promote companies and genuinely tell the truth about what the company is. For example, how can these random people comment on posts about clippers and say the cheaper one has different internals? But it's made in the same factory. It's absolutely crazy. We are not this stupid, but I'm starting to believe we are. I think the top 100 barbers at the top of social media are being paid to lie. That might sound wrong, but I genuinely believe it. It's hard to get a genuine barber these days. Seems like everyone is just out for a payday. Now, if you're a barber, one of the first things you hear about is zero gapping your tools, right? And this just blows my mind. I mean, it's clever. But people are spending too much time thinking how to trick people to buy something. Because you zero gap your tool and get it as close as you can, and that's good. And if you gap it too much, it will cut you, right? Simple stuff. Watch this next clip. This is a masterclass in nothing more than BS. Imagine your brand being so weak you need to say something so ridiculous to try make it sound interesting. And what's worse is people are looking at this and thinking it's legit. And I wanted to mention, look at the quality of these blades closely. They look like they are made from wood. Roll the clip!
The difference in between digital gap and zero gap. And the unique part about digital gap is that we're able to get more specific to the edge of the tool. The moving blade versus the stationary cutting blade, we're able to get this cutting blade a lot more closer to the edge of the comb blade. And it's not typically done with a microscope. A lot of barbers and companies think that we typically do it with a microscope, but it's the breakdown of the actual cutting blade, because once I figured out the technology and the science, I realized that most blades came off the manufacturing line with glitches in the blade. And once I figured out that simple solution to one of those major complex problems in the world, I removed the name zero gap out of the industry and incorporated the name digital gap. And like I say, we're able to get this cutting blade, this moving blade, a lot more closer to the edge of the comb blade, which allows that blade to be much more quiet, much more comfortable, much more specific, and a lot more precision to the edge of the blade. And this is one of the major problems that many barbers and our companies facing, the challenges of the companies that they face with trying to get this outline exactly right. One of the things that people don't pay a lot of attention to is tooth count, spacing on the teeth, how long the teeth are, the shape of the teeth, and the length of these things. But digital gap is leading the way in the barbering industry.
Wow, glitching in the blades. Now this is next level loony talk. If we start to believe this is legit, I could start calling myself Marlon Manson. He says people don't pay attention to tooth count. Like, what the freak is he on about, seriously? This is how bad our industry is getting. It's a clown house. Again, as you know, I have proven it time after time. If he wants to come on and redeem himself, that's fine. But his blades are from a lower budget factory. It's just crazy. I need to move on before I get angry. Imagine lying in bed and thinking I will buy some swimming goggles and make up something that sounds tech and try run with that. Barbers are more intelligent than you think, bro. Check yourself. Coming up, Jeezy still has not paid TPOB the money he lent him. But first, I have a caller who says he loves to give clients bad haircuts and loves to get single moms' phone numbers. Caller 1, you are live on Barber News.
Hey, what's going on, Toad?
I am actually really excited to have you on today. You have some crazy stories and views on barbering I really think barbers will love to hear.
Thanks, man. I am so happy to be on.
Okay, well let's hear your story on barbering in general and what you get up to.
I'll tell you something about being a barber. It's not as complicated as people think. You snip a little here, buzz a little there, maybe get creative once in a while if the guy in the chair gives you free rein. Most people think it's an art, like painting or some nonsense. But I don't see it that way. For me, it's just a job. Pays for my beer, keeps the lights on in my place, and gives me a front row seat to life's little circus. Speaking of beer, I like to keep a couple in the back fridge. The trick is to wait for the slow times, when it's just me and the buzz of the clippers, so I can sneak a cold one. I'm not saying I drink on the job, but I'm not saying it either. Don't really see the harm. I'm not performing brain surgery here, I'm cutting hair. Now, there's a little perk to this gig that nobody told me about when I was learning. Single moms. You wouldn't believe the number of them who drag their kids in here for a trim. Some of them are frazzled, juggling their bags, holding their kid down like it's a rodeo. Others come in looking like they just walked off a magazine cover. And me, well, I make it a point to be friendly. I've got a system, you see. When they sit in the waiting chairs, I'll make eye contact, throw in a compliment about their kid. Moms love that. Then, when I get the chance, I slip in we should grab a drink sometime. Talk about how hard it is raising these little monsters. More often than not, they'll giggle or smile. And if I'm lucky, I walk away with a number. Don't get me wrong, I'm not all about the chase. The work gets done most of the time. But here's the thing. If a customer comes in here with an attitude, if they're pushy or complain about every little thing, I'll give them exactly what they're asking for. Bad vibes get bad haircuts. I'm talking uneven fades, crooked lines, the works. I don't even feel bad about it. Some guy comes in acting like he knows more about cutting hair than I do. Yeah, let's see how you like your uneven sideburns, buddy.
You're a unique character. I love your honesty. Do you get many picky customers coming into your shop?
Last week, some college kid came in with a picture of some Instagram model haircut. Showed it to me like I was supposed to care. I just nodded, pretending to study it. But the moment he started getting fussy about the length, telling me what clippers to use, I knew where this was going. Did I use the wrong guard on purpose? Maybe. Did I accidentally trim a bit too much on one side? Definitely. He didn't even notice until he got home and texted me about it. I told him it must have been the lighting in my shop that threw him off. He didn't come back, and I didn't lose any sleep over it. Then there's little Johnny. Kid's like 6, I think, comes in with his mom every few months. Real nice lady, one of those moms who looks like she should be on TV or something. I always give Johnny a good cut. Why? His mom, of course. I'm still working on that number, but I've got time. Anyway, cutting hair isn't a bad gig. I don't have to care about much. I get by, drink a few beers, cut a few heads, and see where the day takes me. The way I see it, some people overthink life. Me? I just let the clippers do the talking. And if you walk in here giving me attitude, well, don't be surprised if you leave looking like you lost a fight with the scissors.
Bro, your shop seems crazy and so do you. But at least you're happy. I want to thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir, Toad. I just want to say, shout out to the single moms. Hit me up if you need someone to talk with. I always have time.
Okay, I will pass on the message. Everyone, I want to say thanks for coming on. And I always appreciate you leaving your comments about today's episode. Opinions are important, and to be honest, sometimes opinions can change if someone makes a good point. That's what I love so much about Barber News. We are all one big community trying to make the barber world a better place. If you need to get something off your chest, reach out, get in contact, and I will be happy to assist. If you enjoyed today's episode, hit that like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Peace.